Hey BZBs, thank you for taking time for yourself. And today I'm going to talk about why I procrastinate. There are several reasons that I procrastinate, and I have gone a little bit deeper on understanding what exactly are those things that make me procrastinate. And number one thing which I always feel is that I delay the gratification. Basically, eating the cream of the cake first and then the hard part later. And that is what usually is a big problem with me. I don't want to do the hard part first and then go for the cream, but rather have the easier part. Of course, if I'm laying down on the couch, then it is no more a problem, right now people would rather rest on a couch. Right now, I would rather rest on a couch than to go for a run or to my gym. And that is the reason why I personally feel that I have to, somewhere work around this. This is not where I am talking about a solution, but rather going in depth of a problem, because unless and until we understand what the problem is, we will not be able to take out a solution. And procrastination is such a rigid kind of a problem where you don't need the solution. Everybody knows the solution to procrastination is to take action. But in reality, we don't do that is because we don't understand why in the world are we procrastinating. And this is something that we continuously procrastinate, no matter how difficult it is, how important it is. We know that we are going to end up in trouble, but we keep on procrastinating no matter what. And number one reason, as I said, I feel why I procrastinate is because I feel that I am right now satisfied, and satisfaction is right away. Then let's have that and delay the I cannot delay the gratification. In the book Road Less Traveled, MS Scott Peck has given this wonderful example of delaying gratification. How a person eats the hard part later and the soft part of a cake first, because that is how our human minds are designed. Our human minds are designed to have the best part right now and keep the hard part later. And that is what happens when it comes to procrastination, also. That we try to build our everything routine around the easier part, and we don't want to tackle with the hard part. That is one of the biggest reason that we try to procrastinate, or basically I procrastinate. And as we looked at all those things that can happen when we are delaying gratification, that is, it is easier to eat right now than to go for an exercise. It is easier to sit on the sofa and watch Netflix than to do some kind of an activity or the important project that is pending. Parallelly, what also is the part that we procrastinate or I procrastinate is I'm scared of certain things, like I'm scared of failure. Basically, what if I put this YouTube video online and it bumped, which it is going to, basically. So no matter what is going to happen, but the whole point here is that I am scared, and that is the one of the reasons that I procrastinate. The biggest reason, as delaying gratification, is, I think, the second most reason that I procrastinate is because I'm scared of certain things. I'm scared of result. And in some people, there is also a scare, they are scared of success. I am not that guy. I am a guy who loves success, but I am the guy who hates failure, and I don't want to see a failure. That is the reason why I will never take action. And I would rather, not take action than to take action and fail. And that is the reason why one of the area where I procrastinate like this is where I want to ship my blogs, my writings. I have a lot of written material, but I never push it or I never ship it, because I feel that nobody's going to read, or nobody, there is no audience. Even if I get a lot of good reviews, but still I don't do, or I don't ship whatever is there with me. And that is one of the reason I personally feel that getting scared of failure stops me from doing things I want to do, and that is one of the biggest reason I procrastinate. The third big thing that I personally feel I procrastinate is because I think right now nothing bad is going to happen. And this is a mindset which I have developed from a long time, that right now everything is going on fine, then why should we change some things? And of course, there are a lot of things where you don't need a change, but there are certain things that you bound to change or you need to change. Like for me, in my case, I really wanted to take hold of my sugar levels or my glucose levels, because somewhere it was really affecting my health. But then right now I'm not immediately going to die out of diabetes, right? And that is the reason why I don't have to take care right now. uh, and that is where I procrastinated to a level where now I had to take care of my glucose level after COVID. And right now I am stable. But the whole point here is that one of the thinking pattern which I feel here, which I always think of, is that nothing bad is going to happen right now, so why take any action? So let's keep it as it is going on, and let's not take too much of stress right now. And that can be one of the reasons for not taking action and procrastinating things. Another reason, I don't know if I procrastinate like that, is but there is some analysis that I have done, is because I think that the future won't be that bad and it is a very hopeful future. But that's not a reality. Trust me, nobody thought that COVID would happen. Nobody thought that so much of economic crisis can happen or so many things can go wrong, but it did, right? So we are never prepared for a future which is bad. And in reality, future cannot be always good. There has to be some up and downs, as it is there in the present or it has been in the past. If you look at the whole past record, whole humanity has gone through suffering or good or bad phases altogether, and so will be us. We have gone through our whole life in good and bad phases, and so will be our future. It won't be all very nice and all very hopeful. It won't be all very bad either. But in both the cases, what we need to definitely take thing into account is that we put our future self, that it is going to be always a very hopeful and a very nice thing. That might not be true, and that is the reason why we always procrastinate. Nothing is going to happen. Then why are we supposed to put that much effort there? It is anyways, everything will become very good at the end. So that's it. That is not a fact, that is not the truth. And somewhere we need to take action for those things. And that is one of the reasons that why we procrastinate, and that is a severe reason that we need to take care of before acting out on why we do it. I personally feel that I procrastinate a lot of areas in my life where there is a lot of friction. So what I do is, wherever I feel that friction, that I need to put a lot of effort to do certain things, then I'm not going to do it at all. It can be even making a YouTube video. If there is too much of arrangements of light and the cameras and the another camera, and there are so many things that goes in that, and the mic and the sound. So somewhere I feel that, oh, let it be. I don't want to put that much effort in this thing. So I make my things very frictionless to take certain actions. And that is the reason why I try to keep as much setup as possible of all the things that are already there, and that helps me. But one of the reason is definitely that the more friction there is to take action, the lesser idea that there is a lesser possibility that we will take an action. And that is why reducing that friction becomes very important for me. And Friction in motion, that is something which we should look at, and there should be least amount of friction, and the faster we can move our ideas or our creations into the world. And finally and finally is that we don't have a drive or a purpose of doing certain things. No matter how much we want to do certain things, if there is no kind of a motivation behind doing certain things, then there is no point in doing that, so we don't do it. And that is the reason why I think it is very important to look at why we don't do and what is the purpose behind it. I personally miserably fail when it comes to purposes, because I do try to keep a purpose every time. But now I have made a lot of different types of kind of a system where I get back in touch with my values, and then I take certain actions. Now this helps sometimes, but I fail miserably sometimes. Then other thing is that, I create a purpose so strong that I need to take certain actions. But even after doing all that, sometimes it totally fails. And finally, I use one technique from motivational interviewing, where it is asked, where we ask the client And finally, I try to work with this technique from motivational interviewing, which I work with my clients, is to ask how motivated are you to do this action. And the client says, like on a scale of 0 to 10, how motivated are you? And the client says maybe 5 or maybe 4. And then the question here is, why not 3 or why not 4? You ask yourself, why not the lesser number? Are you motivated about it? And suddenly you will come up with some kind of a reason. The reason can be anything, the reason can be I'll fail in the exam, or the reason can be I really want to do something in life, or whatever it might be. So this is the technique I try, and it works most of the time for me to take certain amount of action. So that's where the final thing is that having a purpose becomes very very important in life, and to stick with that purpose, because purpose might be there but it all dims back. At least it happens with me that it dims back in the background, and it becomes like a soft focus outside, out of focus. And that is where I have to put a lot of effort in bringing back that purpose and take action. But of course, I don't know if this video will get posted, because I can totally procrastinate, and this might never see the day, light of the day, or day of the light, or whatever it is. So thank you, procrastinators. If you want to procrastinate, be a pro.